very much.
Jami-Lee Ross.
Speaker, I find myself following Mr Nash for the second time in 2 days. I want to invite him again to come to the right side of the House, where I know his heart lies, and I know that his real interests in politics lie. He'd probably enjoy the opportunity. Mr Speaker, I don't believe that this bill is necessary, because no one's suggesting that Kiwibank is going to be anything other than 100% Crown-owned. In fact, the Honourable Sir Dr Michael Cullen has spoken publicly and said, as chairman of New Zealand Post, as a former Deputy Prime Minister in a Labour government, they are prepared to look at other opportunities with other Crown-owned organisations. And those opportunities will allow Kiwibank to expand. They'll allow Kiwibank to have greater capital and expertise brought into Kiwibank. But that's not a reason for us to be looking at this bill. And no one is suggesting, certainly not from the government side, that Kiwibank should be anything other than Crown-owned. Mr Speaker, this bill is also an anathema to the normal constitutional issues that we use for a 75% majority threshold to vote in this House. Now, I understand that Mr Parker's, yes, I have been reading the supplementary order paper. He may or may not get an opportunity to discuss it in committee stage, Mr Speaker. No, we didn't block it at select committee. The bill that Clayton Cosgrove drafted, which was so appalling, the bill that Clayton Cosgrove drafted that was so appalling did not come with this somewhat more sensible but unnecessary wording attached. Clayton Cosgrove brought us a bill which he was very unenthusiastic about supporting in select committee, which would have said that the Parliament of New Zealand would have to vote by a 75% threshold if a company owned by a SOE should ever be sold. Has that ever been done before? No. Should that ever be done? No. Mr Speaker, it is not something that we should be doing with our SOEs. Mr Speaker, this bill is unnecessary. The committee by majority did not support it. It did get through a first reading. We'll find out in a minute or two whether it gets through a second reading. But, Mr Speaker, the National Party does not believe it's necessary. There are good controls that are in place through the executive. When it comes to SOEs, they have the ability to get on with the job and do their work, but there is still oversight from the executive, and that is all that is necessary. The National Party does not support this bill.
The question is that the motion be agreed